My name is Mckenzie Kramer, and this is my informative speech about adoption. Every child needs a family, so the purpose of my speech is to inform people that there are children all over that need good homes. Children are a blessing, whether they are your own or someone else's. But once you adopt a child, that child becomes part of your family as well. About 135,000 children are adopted in the United States each year. In a survey, Americans were asked if they knew someone who has been adopted or knew someone who adopted a child. 58% of Americans that were asked that question answered yes. Personally, I have a cousin who was adopted, so I'd be part of the 58% of Americans who know someone who was adopted. Some parents adopt because they are unable to have children of their own, while others adopt because they know the child personally or because they are looking for a way to make their family grow in a different type. Now, I'm going to share information with you about adoption. It is important to choose a child that will fit into your family and be accepted. 63% of children adopted from foster care are a different race than their adoptive parents. Some children will never feel like a part of the family truly if their skin is a different color. With a different skin color, the child will always see that they are different than their parents. This can affect the child's emotional state, which can lead to depression. The parents should address that the skin color is not an issue. It is important to let the child know that the color of their skin does not make up the person they are. If other family members are uncomfortable with a child of a different race, the parents that are planning to adopt a child should request a child of the same race. The process may take longer, but it will benefit the child later on in their life because it won't have to worry about not being accepted or fitting in with that family. Ways to help adopted children feel accepted. First of all, you should build a solid foundation for the child. Being financially secure and stable is important when raising a child. However, money is not the only way to build a solid foundation. Parents must also be emotionally stable. The parent must make sure that they can handle a lifetime of being a parent. For 18 years, those parents will be making a majority of the decisions in that child's life. So they have to make sure that they can handle it and it is something they enjoy doing. Second of all, you should talk openly about the adoption, but love and treat the child as your own. If the birth parents are involved, never make the child feel like they have to choose between you. This will only make the child resent the parents, both biological and adoptive. If you have biological children and adopted children, never show favoritism. Treat and love each child the same way so they get along. Steps to adopting a child. First, you should learn about adoption. I would study and research adoption to make sure it is something that you are ready for and something you can handle doing. Meet with an adoption agency. Research local agencies and make sure they have a good reputation. It is their job as an agency to help you find a child and build a family. Make sure the agency you pick has people you know and people you can trust. Third, you should search for a child. Have adoption agencies find expecting mothers for you or find other children that need homes. Start with fostering children to see if they are someone that you could adopt or if adopting is something you could do or you're interested in. There are a lot of famous celebrities who have been adopted. One celebrity would be country singer Faith Hill. Faith Hill was adopted as an infant. Faith was taken in by a family who had children of their own already. She knew her whole life that she was adopted, but she loved her parents as her own. She says her adoptive parents treated her as their own as well. Faith's adoption was private, but when she turned 19 years old, she started to become curious about her biological parents. After a closed adoption, once a child turns 18, they are allowed to search for their real parents, so this was accepted. Once she found her birth mother, they instantly began a great relationship. Faith was in contact with her mother for 15 years, but then her mother passed away. There are other famous celebrities who have been adopted as well. Some examples of them would be Marilyn Monroe, Bill Clinton, John Lennon, Babe Ruth, and Steve Jobs. There are 4 different types of adoption. There's domestic adoption, international, open, or closed adoption. Domestic adoption is adopting a child from somewhere within the United States of America. Open adoption gives the birth parents visitation rights in some cases, but not in all. But in every open adoption, it's always allowed that the mother sends pictures and letters to the child no matter what. Closed adoption doesn't allow the birth parents to make any contact once they have given the child up for 72 hours. International adoption is adopting a child from a foreign country. An example of that would be China. However, this form of adoption can be very expensive. My conclusion that I've came to is adopting a child may take time, and it may be difficult, but people should only adopt if they are 100% sure that this decision is right for them. Even if the child is not yours by blood, the child is still an important part of the family, and it should be loved the same as everyone else. Children are wonderful, and every child deserves a good family.